What's happening, guys? Welcome back to episode 6, picking up from Old Yarnum. So before we make our way into your next location, there are going to be a few things to address with our loadout. So if you guys go on over, I would highly recommend to have on your torch. Not only are some of the enemies weak to fire, but they're also afraid of it, right? So if you're surrounded, a lot of times this will make a few of them back off, and it makes it so much easier to deal with this area. Aside from that, we're going to want to go ahead and throw in our antidote as you're going to start running into poison. And if you guys want, Gasquin set does offer the best resistances to poison at this point. At least going with the guard would, most likely go a long way. Now, once you're ready, we're going to go straight up the store. Now, you are going to get into a little bit of lore here. So pretty much this area, Old Yarnum, has been overran by beasts. So there's a sign posted that's pretty much saying, hey, no hunters are welcome here. The hunters that are left in this area are very much trying to kill you because they feel like you're just going to turn into a beast, and that gives them one more to deal with. So there's one on the ground we're going to have to take out, and there's also one on top of a clock tower with the freaking Gatling gun. So it's going to be good times. But there's a little bit of lore pertaining to this. This town is long abandoned. Hunters are not wanted here. So if you open the door, you're also going to get some dialogue with him. It's pretty much just giving you your final warning, right? So he's going to warn you to leave, or he's going to have to put you down. Alright, so obviously as we get into this area, we're going to have to deal with him. So for the time being, your main path is going to be over here on the left. What we're going to want to do is go over here to the right, and I try to run quickly if I was you guys. Shit. Yeah, I want to try to get him before he gets away. But if he does, I'm not worried about it, because I guess we could just kind of quit and load back in. So it's not a big deal if it happens, but I was trying to prevent it. It just, sometimes lines up, sometimes doesn't. So either way, once you've got him or not, we're going to head to the bottom here. Now, these guys are not afraid of fire if they have the sheet on their head, but the ones without the sheet are. The other thing is, these guys are the ones that build up poison. Now, it takes about 3 hits. Don't get hit too much. One here or there, you're going to be fine. As you see, that status, it's going to wear down over time. So, shouldn't be too bad, but yeah, try to manage it. And then that's the Hunter Torch. That's better. This is, 25 damage, arcane scaling at D, 50 damage, arcane scaling at B. So it's going to be much better. I mean, if you're trying to use it as a weapon, of course. Now from here, we're going to drop down this ledge, roll on down. This is going to be the shortcut to the final boss. We're going to get that around the end of the episode. It's probably going to be the last thing we do. So for now, we're just going to follow us back around and take one of the longer ladders in the game. By far not the longest, but it's damn long enough, I'll tell you that much. Told you, it's a biggin. It's a biggin. Alright, cold blood. Now we're back where we started. So to that end, what we're going to do is just kind of stop right here. Quit out, load back in. That's going to make your crawlers respawn. This old Dark Souls trick. Otherwise, you have to rest and, come back. It's the same thing as resting. We're actually going to have to do this at least twice this episode, unfortunately. I was only supposed to have to quit out once, but, Alright, there he goes. Don't let him. You're just going to have to be a bitch today, aren't you, bro? You're really starting to piss me off. You really are. I have to go through this whole thing again over upgrades I really don't need. You know what? Let's just do this, because I'm not dealing with it. I'm not doing all that again. I'll just hop out and reset. We haven't taken out everybody up top, so it's fine. Yeah, a little irritating. Usually it's not that much of a pain in the ass. And, I already had like 13 of those, so I didn't care that much. But it's a walkthrough. I want to make sure you guys see us get it all done, right? So, either way. Now that we've cleared that side, we're going over here to the left. Before you cross that bridge, though, you can actually get a handful of heals. Until I get you guys to the farm, where we can go buy a bunch of healing for you, they really go a long way. I'd make sure to pick up everyone. Now from here, do I have it out yet? No, pull out your torch. I don't want to try to show this off. You should start putting his arms up and backing off. There he goes. So, he's not going to steadily be afraid of it, no. But, it happens from time to time, and it does make life a little bit easier. And you don't have to hold it. You can two-hand. You just have to have that equipped and not your pistol. So do bear that in mind. But, yeah, you don't have to have it out all the time, one-hand your weapon. Of course not. Thank you. Actually got a decent amount of time for that rally mechanic. Like I said, you gotta be aggressive and try to get up quickly, but you actually got a little bit more time than I realized. Alright, so before we move forward, we're gonna go over here to the left-hand side. So it's a little bit more healthy, I guess you could say. He's got a little bit more health. Damn sure it's got more damage. He's doing poison. Alright, now as we go this way, you're going to see some stairs going down. Before we take those stairs down, you're going to actually hug this wall. And you're not going to see it immediately, but if you just kind of wrap around right here in this little nook, and grab a few more. Thank you. You're going to get a lot going through here, but like I said, I just bring your first weapon to +3, which you don't have your twin charge yet anyways, but as far as that, we're still going to want to upgrade probably a flamethrower or a pistol. Then we're going to switch our weapon out for other weapons. So we want to try to stock these up. If you're just testing a bunch of things, upgrade a bunch of things, you're not going to have enough. You know, it takes 16 stars per weapon just to get to +3, guys. So I want you to bear that in mind, because from top, they're not going to put 1,000 upgrades. You know, I mean, maybe the lower tier ones, but eventually, you know, there's only so many of your chunks and your twin shards, so I want to make sure you guys are able to just use good weapons and have them dialed in. Fact of the matter is, if you're trying to upgrade everything, you're going to run into some issues. So either way, as you move on down, you should see this little statue kind of in the center here. So once you go past that point, he's going to start firing on you. Doesn't matter if you're up here, up anywhere. Anywhere on this map past this point, that's the trigger. So what we're going to be doing is, that's the true path down these stairs, but if you just kind of wrap to the right hand side around the statue, we could drop. I just like this way coming in better, just works out a lot better. That's going to be a bigger beast. Biggest one you've seen thus far. And you can just kind of hear him up there talking shit. No grab attack. Thank you. Alrighty. And grab your antidote. Now, if you go this way, you're going to see a doorway leading down. We're going to, like, do a big loop around, then we're going to come up from this. Don't worry about it just yet. Now, from this point, I would put your torch away, pull out your pistol. This is very important. Very important. I guess just to get this over with, if you wrap around, yeah, there he goes. If you wrap around, those are the stairs we ignore, so you're not missing anything. Now, he's going to fire. We're going to wait till right when he fires, and we're going to jump down as fast as we can and run. Just run straight. There's going to be a hunter right here. We'll deal with him in a second. Like I said, there's 2 of them. And he won't follow you too far, but if you just run straight back, you can't miss it. You're going to see a ladder right here. Now, we have to deal with this guy. I mean, typically, I'm not in the habit of running out of the way, and, you know, but this guy's holding down the area with the gunfire. We have to take him out. We have to deal with him. It's going to be really hard to go through the area. So what we're going to do, I'll let it play out while I talk to you, is you're going to go up here. Don't slow down when you get to the top. You're just going to go up. You're going to fire that pistol until you guys off the roof. This guy has more health than most in-game NPC invaders. I'm telling you right now, if he shoots you, it's like a one-shot, and he's shooting back to back to back. And he's got melee capabilities that are off, you know, off the charts. So you just can't fight this guy head up, y'all. Shit, that didn't line up too well. There it goes. Usually it's 3 bullets. I took too long, you know, getting to him, and he kind of went everywhere, right? This is not the best situation. But that shows you that you don't have time to play around. You can't slow down at the top and try to look for him. No, you just climb as fast as you can, lock on, fire till you can't fire anymore. So I did tell you we're going to have to quit out at least one other time, and this is why, right? This is why. Because, as always, and I don't remember if I remember to mention this, because we're still so early, but anytime you take out a hunter, you typically get their signature hunter badge, which opens up, you know, expansions to your shop as far as consumables you can buy, but more importantly, it gets you other weapons unlocked. So, sometimes guns, sometimes what, you know what I mean? There's quite a few things. So, that is your powder keg. We'll cover that when we get back to the hub area. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go after your other hunter. And after that, we might have to reset depending on how many heals you've used and bullets or whatever you're going to use. I think we're fine without bullets here, but we're going to need enough health. I mean, right now we're good. This can get a little shaky. So he's not going to go down the stairs. If he does, he might come down, but he'll start backing off immediately. So if anyone else gets involved, come down here like the beast, take him out, get back to the fight, right? Parries are best. He's a hunter. He can do what you can do. He's got a different weapon, but, you know, essentially the same shit. I like to try to do parries, but yeah, they should have given us a parry on that one. Yeah, sometimes it's very inconsistent. Like, we should be getting it off when we don't. Even vice versa at times. Now, if you can, wait for him to, you know, attack and try to dodge through, it could work. Yep, told you. It's difficult. I do like to just kind of move side by side. You see that? 'Cause he's shooting at us. And, yeah, see, we should have got parried for that, too. But that way, if he shoots, hopefully he misses. Come on, dude. Using my parries worked a lot better. I'm not sure what's going on today, guys. But you could just fight me. Yeah, like right there. We should have got that. I'm not understanding why we're not. Thank you. This is the most amount of damage you're going to get in a single hit. That's why I like it. Don't move. Yeah, if you can do that, that's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. And there you have it. Alright. Bone Mirror Ash, it's something you'll get later on. It strengthens your bullets. Unless I'm getting it confused. There's a few that are really similar in name. Additional medium that strengthens Quicksilver bullets. Yeah, that's what I thought. So either way, so I'm not worried about it. If you guys want to go back and rest, you can. I was gunning because I'm going to kill the guys, maybe get a couple more souls. We don't need to. We don't need to. So what we're going to do from here, and there's all sorts of other areas. Like, you're going to notice, you can't see it, but there's, like, stairs that go down over here to an area. This lower area, there's an area across over there by the buildings. And we're going to get to all of it, but there's a lot of tucked off stuff over here, guys. Alright, a lot of tucked off areas. Hidden weapons, you know, all types of stuff going on. So what we want to do is once you take him out, or if we come back down, regardless, you're working your way back towards the ladder, right? That's the ladder we came down. Well, over here on the left, you're going to see this little ledge. So what we're going to do is we're going to run and jump. Remember, you hold the run button, then tap it, you're going to get a jump. You don't need to jump to the other side. There's nothing to worry about there, but you should see an area where you drop down here, and then drop down there. Now, if you switch back, make sure you have your torch filled with beasts, big ones, small ones, poison ones, regular ones. I mean, it's got it all. You're also going to see quite a few items. We're not worried about any items until these enemies are down, right? That's what needs to happen. If you start focusing on items more than enemies, you're going to find yourself in a bad, bad way. And unfortunately, the ones with the sheets aren't typically going to be afraid of the fire. They're still weak to it. Any enemy in these types of games, feel poison or bug-like or whatever, they're always weak to fire. You know what I mean? But they're not afraid of it, and that's probably because of the sheet. I would assume. Not good. Yep, definitely not good. Dude, yeah. Unfortunately, you get stuck in the corner. There's not much you're going to do about it. I should have kept my distance. It's not a big deal, dude. It's alright. Yeah, you got 4 guys. I didn't think they were going to trap me in the corner, but, I find that's another thing I just find so goddamn infuriating, man. Because if I die, I want it to be my fault, not because you took my movement away. That's not difficulty, dude. You're taking my fucking movement. You know what I mean? You're leaving me helpless. It's a big fucking difference, right? So I just hate situations like that. I find it to be false difficulty. This is my opinion. A lot of people are gonna say I'm just bitching, and that's fine. That's fine. But that's how I feel. That's how I feel, dude. Come on. It's really not that bad, but you gotta watch those corners, man. You really gotta watch those corners. So far, we are 2-0 in boss fights, meaning we have no deaths of bosses. I just get killed by a bunch of pussies. Gotta love it, dude. Gotta love it. I just hate it too because I'm sitting here recording an episode and I feel like it just slowed our momentum. You know what I mean? It's like it's costing us time that we just don't have. Oh, that's not a pistol. Thank you. We'll make up for it. Yeah, if we're going through it again, I'm just gonna kill everybody. I'm tired of playing with them. You know what I mean? I'm tired of playing with them. So we're gonna take them all out. Plus, they do patrol and you don't want to get boxed in. We already had them out before, so we have to worry about it, right? Good. Watch that poison meter. And if you notice there too, we got hit a few times. It takes a bit to build up that poison, guys. It should be just fine. Yeah, you know what? We're gonna do the same thing, same route. You know why? Because we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna do a big loop around the opposite side, so when we come back in, we don't want to have to deal with them when we're, you know, tapped out of resources and all that by the end of the path here. All right, let's grab that. Now we do not have the hunters to worry about, which is nice. But we are going to drop back down and, you know, clear everything we got. So, take him out. I guess I should just rest it anyways. Probably would have been fine if we did. Alright, so same thing. I guess for those that rested, you can see the path, which, like I said, was just to the right of the ladder when you come down anyways. Run, jump, drop, drop. Yeah, first things first, get your stuff, man, get your stuff. Like I said, it wouldn't have been a bad idea to do this anyways, just because you would have got a little bit, you know, a little bit more blood echo and everything else. I'm usually able to do it one run. You know, we got caught. So either way, this time let's just grab the items as we go. I'm not going to backtrack. I want to try to actually hang back because I don't want that to happen again. I've obviously never got killed here before. I was maybe just too comfortable with the area, thinking everything's going to be smooth. Well, ladies. Funny little turds. Y'all are tough. Remember how tough y'all are? Yeah, y'all are so tough. And that's why it's irritating too, because like it's not not really a difficult area, dude. Yeah, don't go to the stairs. Learn that lesson. Alright. Get you some pretty cool stuff down here, guys. Get you some pretty cool stuff. So you get your next blood gem. And all these guys can drop blood gems. Like I said, once you get that tool unlocked, you're going to start finding them left and right from every enemy. They can drop particular ones. This over here is your next weapon. That is your only true skill blood tinge weapon for a long time. Now, I will say, towards the later portions of the game, skill blood tinge has some of the best weapons there are. But that's why I didn't recommend it for a first playthrough, because it takes a long time and quite a bit of knowledge. But I like that because two-handed, you can still use the pistol. It's a rifle. One-handed is just a short spear. Two-handed, it's a rifle that you could use. And then on top of that, it's also going to have like swipes instead of thrusts, which is really nice. But either way, once you got your charred hunter set, I thought I heard someone. There's one under us. Usually, okay, he might be above. They're gonna come for you though. Dude, just fight. Thank you. Yeah, make sure you got your stuff. Your cold blood. There he is. Yeah, there's usually two when we come out. Alright, so now we're just gonna come out. And that was that lower path, so we still have that far area there, and that's gonna wrap up this first half. So we're gonna go down the stairs, aim to the left hand side. Take them out. I actually prefer to start from this left-hand side, though. That way, we just kind of clear the guys that are here. And you can't really see them today, so, you don't really think about them. Because they're just kind of sitting down, they're dark, they blend in, it's a very dark area. Cold blood. Now we can just continue the loop here. Where you at? Thank you. Thank you. Alright, we should be good to go. Now, there's a big boy in this building. There's quite a few smaller enemies, too. If you could bring him back, definitely be a smart thing. Thank you. There you go. And if you need to back up and try to choke point him through the doorway, it's not going to hurt. As far as gun builds or, blood gemstone for a gun, like I said, if we're not doing blood tinge, we're going to be dependent on you know, gems and just the natural upgrades we get from upgrading our pistol for more damage, right? So blood gems can help with this. You know, they can help. Oh, that wasn't worth it. I didn't realize how low our health was, but wasn't trying to get put down again, to say the least. And it's cool too, I guess, with getting killed, because now we can see how much souls we got. So I would have, like, I guess we did get a little extra, but I'm saying if I would have grabbed a level, it would be hard to tell what we got. We got 14,000. Let's say 3,000 extra. I think that's fair for the smaller enemies we took out at the start. So, yeah, pretty rewarding area, guys. Pretty rewarding area. So from here, yeah, we're good. We've got it all. We're going to go up the stairs, turn to the right, go up the stairs. And we're going to go jump back and rest very briefly, and then we'll get to the back half. You can fast travel out, but I feel like we've used more of those than I should have at this point. You know, bold hunter's marks don't come that often. And you start getting them, you know, but they're limited. They are. They're very limited for a while. Alright, so let's go grab a level or two. Which should actually be enough to go ahead and get our skill stat done. And if you want to bring it up higher, like even if you're going to do the Strength Arcane, like if we do all the Chalice Dungeon too, it's so many levels, like you can probably go up a little bit with skill to boost that critical damage up, you know?
Well,
at least a little bit. Well, you know what, before we level up, it's, like I said, it gets to a point we want to save these. But for right now, we're working on levels. Especially if we can get lucky enough to pull like 3 levels out, we can start getting strength and blood tinge too. So I'm gonna do blood tinge last.
What is it you desire?
So I'm gonna make sure we have our requirements for upcoming weapons. That's more important. Yeah, see, now we're 11. So 5 levels here, and we got all of our requirements for most of the weapons. I will need a few levels in blood tinge for a better pistol, but that's it. So 16, 11. Might be 12. Yeah, I think it's 12 actually. I need one more level. I forgot though. I forgot. It's mixed up weapons as far as what we're going to use. But yeah, so we have what, 5 levels here, 1 level there. Then we can use our weapons. Then for better, for a better pistol, we have to put like 3 into this. Now, I want to say it's 8. Let me look. The repeating pistols are so good. Like I said, because if we're not doing blood tinge, this thing's so much damage, man. Just with the natural upgrades of it. Yeah, 8 blood tints at 3 levels. That's the last thing we're going to do. We could, you know, use what we have for now. Also... right here. Powder keg. Hunter's badge, this is what you got to get. Stake drivers, it's cool. It definitely goes with our build too. I mean, you'd have to go, it's not split skilling, so you'd have to go quality build or strength, getting, you know, leveling from physical, or if you switched to arcane damage, your arcane would skill your elemental. Remember, if it has scaling, everything scales arcane, because if you set it to elemental, that way it gets, you know, it gets scaling, it gets damage, but you're not going to get both. It's got to look like this. Each that says physical and blood at the same time, just innate, right? It's naturally built into it. That's true split skilling, so that works for skill blood tinge, right? But yeah, skill, blood tinge, arcane, even if you go with elemental. But, you know, naturally, every weapon has some arcane skilling, so, well, for the most part, that way, if you go arcane, you just get strictly elemental damage. But you're not, if it's in physical, you don't get anything from it, you know? So that is something you guys might want to keep in mind. But either way, now that we've shown that off, did we pop our stuff? We did, we popped our guys. But we already grabbed the level, didn't we? Is it over 45 already? We must be like really close. 400. That's okay. That's okay. We did pick up a blood tinge. I don't know if it's going to be enough without upgrading. So we might want to do that. Yeah, we need that for parries. That would be nice. We really want to upgrade that at some point. But I know if you see how that shows up blue. You see when it goes over the blood gem shows up blue. That means we're allowed to start putting stuff into it. It just takes an upgrade or 2. I have 22. It takes 16 for 1 weapon, so I feel comfortable enough to at least put 1 into it for now. That way I can go down to blood gems, hunter pistol, blood tinge gemstone. But it's only get me 2, but blood attack up 1.8. This does blood attack. So, you know, it is what it is. It's something at the end of the day. It's something. Let's go down to our axe. There you go. Extra point. You know what I mean? We get an extra point. Whoopee! It's, you know, it adds up, I guess. So either way, old yharnam. So now that we have that done, we're going to be getting into the back half of Old Yharnam. So that shortcut we showed you at the start, that's our stopping point. We need to work up to there. We're not far off. There's still quite a bit tucked in here, though. All we're going to be doing is like one building, then working our way through like a back street. It's a pretty cool area, actually. But that's it, you know. But there is quite a few good items tucked away, guys. Quite a few. Where you at, buddy? Thank you. Come on, we got shit to do, buddy. You're gonna be fighting so many of these fuckers moving forward. Just let y'all know, you're fighting a lot of them. Like I said, if you're not gonna stick with this, if you want to go with the repeating pistol, like I said, just, you know, it's 2 bullets a shot, but if you're not doing blood tinge, it gives you a way to have a pistol that does a lot of damage, just off gemstones, and firing 2 bullets at once. You know, that's kind of what does it for you. So we, you know, with saying that, if you don't want to put the upgrade into the regular pistol right now, you don't have to. It's just, you know, because the walkthrough, the thing that is, I just want to make sure you guys are always getting the best out of the build, even if it's nothing much, you know, where you just keep our build dialed in to make sure you guys are getting as much damage as you can. That's what I'd like to do. That's why we're not taking it far, you know what I mean? I mean, the Hunter Pistol is good, just because it's the first one you get. Like I said, this game's got trick weapons. The start weapon's just as good as an end game weapon because it's more about your build and how you put it together. There's not 1,000 weapons. There's 15, 16 really, really good weapons, you know. So that Hunter Pistol will carry you the whole game with the right build and setup and everything else. Mainly it's a parry tool, but it can still get off some damage. You know, don't be mistaken. You can still get off some damage. Through the way, guys, we're just going to take this ladder back down because all we got to do is get to this back portion. If you want to fight, go for it, you know. But not worry, we have plenty of fighting ahead. So, once you go all the way down, I guess to show this off, this is another shortcut we're going to get. You just got to get it from the other side, right? So, we'll get to it. But either way, this is the main way into this back building. Like I said, this is the back half, right? It's this building, and that's going to lead you down to the street and everything else. Well, we don't want to go in this way, because if you do, you're going to miss items. So what we're going to do is actually go back to where we took out the gunner, right? And this is going to put us at the very top of the building where we can drop down. So when we drop down, we're going to do the building backwards because there's a lot of beasts. Not to mention we're trying to get the items tucked away, but there's a lot of beasts. So we're going to take this drop on the right. But if we start at the back, there's like a door where we can choke point a lot of these guys. You know what I mean? It's going to make life easier. You'll see it. We're kind of just going to skip over the whole area, get to the very far back, which is like right down there at that door. Then we'll work our way back through this way, going up the stairs and clearing all your items. But you got to go this way to get your items, and it's just a better setup all in all. You be really careful here. I have like dust in my analog or something. It's like my camera's like all over the place. And my left analog is like worn down because it's, I guess, how hard I am on it. That's not even the one giving me the shit. It's my one that's in good shape. Makes no sense. It's got to be like dust in there. So I'm hoping that doesn't kill me walking on this. But yeah, just walk all the way around. You're just trying to get to that ledge. You could actually rolled off and got to this sooner if you're worried about it. That's just usually where I drop down. And this next part's going to be very tricky because jumping just feels so weird in this game. And the angle, it's not a straight jump. So we need to run and then jump over there to the right. Now this item's not important if you don't care about every little thing. It's just to decorate your messages. Like another one of those, like the red ribbon. Bro, I was there, dog. I was there. I was there. Alright, well, we have 2 options. We can reset, or we can just run all the way back out again. I guess we could try to get on the way down. That's what we'll do. That's what we'll do. Okay, so it's just like the red messenger ribbon, so when you leave notes behind for other players, you can decorate those gravestones, those notes. That's all it is, but it's an item in the game, so I gotta get it, right? Complete walkthrough, it's gotta be complete. So what we're going to do is the same plan, but we are going to have to go back up there again, unfortunately. Which means we'll probably have to go 2 or 3 times to get all the items. But all the enemies will be dead. It's just be a quick little run around. But you see what I'm saying? Because if we drop there, we just kind of choke point everybody. It's just such a easier way to deal with it. Because, believe it or not, it's actually pretty tough, man. Just a lot of them. Even the smaller ones are dealing poison, or they're just, they're high level in general. higher level in general. Should say high level, but higher level. Yeah, look, I'm back there. Crazy fucking slash combos and all this crazy. Look at that, dude. Yeah, getting caught by that, you're probably getting put down, you know. Dude, don't dude out on me, bro. Do not dude out on me, bro. Sorry, guys. Get late. I'm getting weird. Forever here's for your chalice dungeons, guys. So we're not gonna have that unlocked. Not until after the boss, but it's not just so you need a special chalice to create chalice dungeons. It's actually very complicated, and we're gonna go through it. Not like, I mean, yeah, it's difficult, but just like understanding chalice dungeons and how to craft them, which order to do them in, it's very, very, very complicated. So we'll cover it. But essentially, you need a special chalice, like a quest item, that allows you to craft the dungeons. However, even with that, you still need certain materials, like bloodshot eyeball. There's something called living string. There's ritual blood. There's all these things. You know, that's one of those items for the very, very early chalice dungeons. So we're gonna cover them. Like I said, we're not gonna do all of them, no, but I'll do a few. We're gonna clear a few because you get really good blood chips there. But just consider all optional. It's like roguelike. A lot of it's randomized, so I couldn't guide you if I wanted to, right? It's randomized. It's going to be different for all of us. Some are sets because you have a main path you need to progress to get to like the final boss of all the chalice dungeons and a weapon need for platinum. Like, so we're going to do a skip for that, right? But yeah, it's just, they're very difficult, and a lot of it's like a challenge. Like, a lot of it's leveled for like New Game Plus, New Game Plus 2. So you're not going to... I mean, you're going to have to be very skillful to make it through. It takes, like, the hardest bosses in the game, halves your health, and then ups your damage and health by, like, ×4. You know, it's like challenge road type stuff. So, deeper you go, the worse it's going to get for you, right? So, like I said, it's going to be covered. Don't get me wrong. We're going to cover it, but we're not going to cover all of them. But I do recommend you guys spend some time in the chalice dungeons, even if we don't spend that much, because you get the best blood gems. You can get different weapons. Like, for instance, this is why we're on the subject. Hunter's Axe. So if you notice my Hunter's Axe, you see the shapes that it has for blood gems. Well, you might find uncanny Hunter Axe or a lost Hunter Axe, and they will have like different gem shapes, which may be better for making an elemental build or pure physical or for quality. Or so they got really cool things down there, you know. But we don't have to do it all for the platinum, and we'll do as much as I'm comfortable with for newer players. You know, that's as far as we're gonna take it. So either way. Like I said, there's not much to really talk about here, guys. All we do is start from the back, work our way up, right? So once you get to the front door, that just, was the way we could have came in. But this platform does lead you to an item. Like I said, we got to go through here a few times, unfortunately, just because I missed that one thing. But if you go to the left, you drop all the way down, you turn around, drop, turn around, Cold Blood Due 2. Now, we still have that one item up top, so unfortunately, here we go for a third run, right? But everybody's dead, so it's not so bad, because I about quit out and loaded back in. I was like, fuck it, dude, I'll just, we'll just start over so I can get to that area. But then we had to fight all those guys again, and yeah, it's just not fun. So now, if you guys recall, unfortunately, we have to go out of the building, up the ladder, and do that hidden drop down. You're going to miss it. They're really good at level design from Soft. You can say whatever you want about them, but you can't argue their level design. It's so good. So creative. Yeah, this episode's gone way over. Wow, we're already over 30 minutes. We still have stuff to do. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot packed in here. We're not that far over. Hell, I'd prefer to go for an hour. I just know a lot of people don't want to sit that long. So I try to, 30, 45, you know what I mean? I would much rather go for an hour. We just get so much more done. Alright, the same thing. Hopefully my analog does not fuck me on this one. It's not even something we have to cover. As long as you guys have the information, I feel like we can just do this on our own time. So I don't want to have to go through this 8 times if I keep missing the jump. But I would like to show it on camera. That way we all know it's done, you know how to do it. And we can display how much of a pain in the ass it is, right? Like I said, it's just a pain in the ass jump because angled. And we had to jump. I just happened to hit the wall and it threw me off. It's tricky the way jumping is. It'd be easier to put on R3. So run, tap, circle. Ugh. Like I said, we had that. It's just when you hit the wall, it bounces you off. And, it's a thing. So Bloody Messenger ribbon, or is it Bloody Messenger hat? One of them. Like I said, when you leave notes for other players, it shows up as a gravestone. You can decorate that gravestone. So just, extra stuff to the game, cool stuff to find. Not particularly important. It's not related to trophies. Doesn't offer you any benefits. You know what I mean? So we got it. All right. So from here, when you're going out, we're gonna go over here to the left-hand side first. A lot of crows, more than you've probably seen up to this point. Hell yeah! I told you L2 in this one. It might be a simple axe, no cool elemental or nothing, but the moveset is just so versatile that I couldn't recommend a better starting weapon. People don't realize, whenever I recommend build for a series, it's not my favorite build. It's not what I want to do. I would like to do skill blood tinge. I've never done that build before. But it's just, what I've tested out, and I just think it's best for someone that's never played the game before just to get you through. You know what I mean? So it's definitely not my favorite weapon. I like the cane a lot, actually. But, yeah, I just think it's going to be really good for you guys. So, getting on over here, that's going to lead us to our shortcut in the final boss. This is the other shortcut we showed you guys. It's just that door. Not much of a need. I mean, I'm never going to use it, right? But still. But still. It's here. Let's get it. Now we'll just go back on down. Damn, somehow we went through all that and I still have 20 heals? How the fuck? They must have been dropping left and right for me. I know we got hit a bunch. I think we did. So when you go out here, you have a lot to deal with. Mainly, it's crazy is how formidable the werewolves have been. Like, we've been using doorways to fight them and everything else. There's like 10 here. We're going to be fighting them back to back to back. So just heads up. You can see all this fog. It's really hard to see, but there's a guy. I know he's here. Yeah, he's right here. Mindful of him. There's also a crawler in the back right. We don't want to miss. Yeah, they're going to start coming in. Luckily, they're only in this first section, so you're not fighting them and werewolves and all that shit at the same time. Where'd the crawler go? Definitely supposed to be a crawler here. Maybe he timed out because those guys attacked. Alright, I guess we're critting out 3 times this episode. We never even seen him. I just know he's here. It's in my notes. I didn't even see him. Fuck. There he is. I'm like, where is he? I hear him. Told you. Bloodstone shards, baby. Alright. Yeah, definitely recommend two-handing for the werewolves, guys. They're heavy hitters. And at first, you have like 2 of them at once, and then you just gotta fight them one by one, so it's not so bad. Because we got enough health to deal with them. We're +3. It's a different thing. If you notice, fucking 2 of them. He did us a favor on that one. Yeah, get back. Let's not get killed about it. Dodge around if you have to. Another thing you could do is wait for him to attack, obviously, and try to dodge, get behind, but depends on what attack they're doing. It might, be a pain in the ass. So whatever you're comfortable with. So either way, that's obviously the opening we just came out of. Over here on the left is the main path that we need to take. However, if you go down here on the right, there's one item to get, and we need to talk about this door. So there's multiple hidden areas. The first one we're going to do, though, is called the Hypergen Jail. I told you, if a Reaper pops up over by Cathedral Ward, he's going to abduct you and take you to a jail. It's a hidden region. Well, when we get there, we clear that area, there's a hidden boss fight over here on the other side of the store with Dark Beast Pearl. Once you take him out, it just connects the area is what it does. So, there's nothing you can do about it yet. Now, I've heard, this has to be misconception, but I've heard someone say that if you do this in New Game Plus, you can come through this way, take the back route, and like befriend the guy with the Gatling gun on the roof. But that doesn't make any sense to me because in New Game Plus, everything's undone, right? So that door would be locked. So it just doesn't make any sense to me, you know what I mean? But I figured I'd bring it up just in case someone knows how that works. 'Cause to me, it doesn't make any sense. Every door that you've opened is going to be shut again. It's New Game Plus. You know what I'm saying? Everything you've done is not going to be done anymore, right? So I don't know, but I figured I'd bring that up. Either way, going straight, this building brings us over to our shortcut, and the boss is kind of around the corner. However, what we want to do first is go over here to the left-hand side. Now, there's a werewolf. You can't see him, but he's right up there in the building. How creepy is that, right? You actually see that a lot in the in-game. Well, a few times. Now, he'll come down, but not until you grab this item. You're just going to kind of turn around, and he'll just be there. Okay, that stamina regen needs some work. We get a certain rune, special rune called Oath Memory later. Well, it's going to speed up our stamina regen. Unfortunately, this doesn't come until about 70% with the game. Now, there's going to be a werewolf that hops out. Not cool. Thank you. Like I said, that's going to bring us to the boss. We're going to do it next episode. So don't worry about it. We're just trying to get to the shortcut here. Antidotes. This is empty just to show you guys. Looks like something's going on, but it's not. There should be one beast on the stairs, and there's going to be a side room with another. That's right here. So as soon as you go out, go to the right-hand side. Alright, take him out. Bloodstone shard. Then as you go up, you're going to see that door for your shortcut. But before we go out that way, what I would highly recommend is go this way because we can get more fire paper, which is going to be really nice for the boss next episode. The boss next episode, I'll put it this way: if there's like, and obviously we're just working our way back while I talk to you guys, but let's say there's new players who are having a really hard time, never played a FromSoft game, and they're really struggling with the game, but they're still having a good time and they just try to push through it. Well, this is the guy they get to. Then a lot of them just hit a wall and they're like, fuck it. So he's just a really, 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 really tough boss if you don't know how to play it. And if you do know how to play it, he's still a really, really tough boss. But there's quite a bit that we're going to help you with. And I do urge you to get past this guy because, the game starts getting really good after this. You're unlocking chalice dungeons. You get some secret areas that give you some of the best weapons in the game. So I would urge you guys to stick with it. But I'm going to show you some stuff that's going to make this so much easier, man. I mean, we're gonna have a summon that ties him down. We're just gonna kind of stay behind him. It shouldn't be bad, but just so you know, right? It's one of them things. If you decide to push forward, just be cautious. Especially right now, we only have so many heals, and there's only so much we have. Because if you run out of healing, to me, it almost like ruins the playthrough. Because well, now I have to go farm a bunch of guys just to fight this guy again and maybe die again, So it's be frustrating. We're gonna set you up for success. You better believe it.
Very well, then.
Try to make sure we can get through this with no issues. All right, so now we're good on skill. So 4 more levels here, 3 more here. So there's still 7 levels. But the blood tinge we don't have to do immediately. And if you're happy with the hunter pistol, you don't have to do it at all. If you're just using it for parries, you don't care about extra damage, you don't have to use it at all. So you just keep that there. We go 4 levels here. We're going to reach requirements for pretty much anything we want to use. Then we can just stick into our base stats. And once we're at, 30, 20, we're in damage for the rest of the game, guys, for the most part. So, yeah, it is quite nice. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and check some blood gems because obviously, next episode, get into a boss fight. So, I don't think we have anything, but we did get the Radiant. I don't think it was a good tier though, was it? Okay, like I said, it's worth looking into. 1 for blood tinge, so we are good. I do want to see, how many do we have? 34. That's enough for 2 weapons, but I'm going to get another pistol. I want that to +3. We get another weapon. I want that to +3. So, yeah, I'm going to hold off for the time being. I don't think there's enough stuff to sell for a level. It'd be nice. Sometimes you get shit you just don't really care about. Typically, it takes a bit. They're like this. This is cool. But yeah, it's 360. It's not bad. Do not sell those. Do not sell. So for the boss fight next episode, we're going to be using Molotov cocktails, oil, Punch of Blood Cocktail can help, and Fire Paper for the most part. If you're strengthening your bullets, you can do that. That's just a constant buff. So Pellet the Great short-lived Beasthood. Beasthood's a buff to your damage, but you have to like attack quickly. So you're attacking with quick succession, and that's going to build up more and more damage over time until you slow down or you get interrupted. So it's nice, but it's not like a lot of bosses just kind of sit there and let you whack on them either. There you go, Bloodstone Shards. If you guys want to farm up a bunch of levels, you can just grab those there. Ritual Blood, of course. But like I said, we can't really do anything with the Chalice Dungeons just yet. Yep, so pretty much that's what you started with, right? The Black Hood set, there's Gasquin set. Oh, I'm under Cell. I'm like, what the fuck? Gasquin set's not supposed to be there. I know that whenever we find shit in the world, they pop up here, but I started looking like, what the fuck are we doing? My bad, y'all. So yeah, we still have this set. I'm like, we shouldn't have 2 armor sets right now. But check, because there's some where I'm not fully aware of when they're available. I know they're available, I'm not sure when, though. Is like how we just found the Rifle Spear, now you see it for sale. Ashen, yep. That's actually one of the highest sets for Frenzy, which is nice. It's one of the best ones. Yeah, I don't think, yeah, our inside started busted from hitting Gasquins. Let's pile that back up. So I'm happy if you guys are. Either way. If you're worried about, yeah, I usually am out of bullets by this point. So it looks like we are. If you go over here to set, so, it's only I didn't look up how much stuff we have. We have 99 blood vials. Not bad, but our bullets are booked. We get 10 on the way to the bosses just sitting on the ground. That'll give us our 20 for the fight. That would be helpful. So we have plenty of blood. If you guys have been dying a bunch or haven't been as lucky, you know, just be cautious. If you want to pick up some antidotes, I would. We have plenty, but if you don't, this boss is heavily based upon poison damage. Molotovs, we still have enough, so I think we're good there. I have 1 oil urn. It wouldn't hurt to buy 1, I guess. I'll buy 1 just in case. Because that's going to build up fire damage. Even if you're not using Molotovs, you put fire in your weapon, you put oil on the boss, they're going to take more fire damage, right? So just a few heads up of what we're going to get into. That way everybody's prepared and ready to go. Like I said, this is trying. However, getting past them is going to really open the door for us, right? So we're going to make sure we're set up for it. So anyway, guys, with that, we're going to go ahead and wrap on up. Like I said, next episode, we'll conclude the area by taking out your next boss. Then we're going to take you guys through some optional content and get you some really nice stuff. So y'all stay tuned, and we will catch you back here shortly.